What if I told you that God's silence isn't his absence, but his strategy? You've been praying, pleading, crying out with everything in you, and yet heaven feels like it's on mute. The more you press in, the more distant God seems. You start questioning your faith, your worth, and maybe even God's love for you. But here is what no one tells you. Unanswered prayers are often the deepest form of divine communication. It's not that God hasn't heard you. He has. It's that he's doing something bigger than your request, something that doesn't fit in the box of your timeline or expectations. God doesn't just answer prayers. He answers processes. And when you don't understand the process, you mislabel the silence. Sometimes, what you call delay, God calls preparation. You want the blessing, but God wants you ready for the blessing. Because what good is a gift that crushes you? You're asking for breakthrough, but he's building endurance. You're crying for marriage, healing, money, purpose. But if God handed you everything right now, would it build you or break you? Because God doesn't just want to give you things. He wants to make sure you can carry them. That silence you feel, that's him doing the work beneath the surface, the hidden refining, the pruning that no one sees. That job you lost, that relationship that fell apart, that door that never opened. You thought he said no, but he was actually saying, not yet, or even better, I have something greater. But you couldn't hear that over your desperation. And let's be honest, sometimes our prayers are loud, but our trust is weak. We treat God like a vending machine. Put in a prayer, expect an answer. But God is not your personal genie. He's your father. And a good father says no when you ask for things that will harm you. A good father is quiet when his child needs to grow. Sometimes the silence is the test. Will you still trust him when you don't hear him? Will you still worship when it hurts? Still believe when it's blurry? That's where real faith is formed. In the silence, in the waiting, in the tension between already and not yet. And here's the wild truth. Some of the prayers you've been praying, God has answered them. But the answer didn't come in the form you expected. You asked for peace, and instead he removed the person stealing your peace. You prayed for strength, and he gave you storms to walk through. You asked for joy, and he took away the idols you were depending on for happiness. God's answers don't always feel like answers. They often feel like disruption. But remember, disruption is often divine. God will disturb your comfort to deliver your calling. And yes, sometimes the delay isn't even about you. It's about someone else's breakthrough being tied to your patience. You're a thread in a divine tapestry. If God moved too soon, it would unravel his plan. So he waits, not because he's distant, but because he's wise, because he sees what you don't. He hears the prayer beneath the prayer, the one you don't say out loud. Lord, make me more like you. That's the prayer he's really answering, even when you don't realize it. So, if your prayers seem unanswered, don't assume you're forgotten. Assume you're being formed. God is still moving, even in silence. He's still working, even in the dark. And his no or doctor, not yet, might be the most loving thing he ever gives you, because unanswered prayers aren't rejections. They're redirections. They're proof that his plans are bigger than your requests. And if you hold on, if you trust him just a little longer, you'll look back and thank him for every door he didn't open, every prayer he didn't answer, because now you see what he was protecting you from, and more importantly, what he was preparing you for.